Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks, and it's a bit of a shorter random destruction today because I have had a killer headache all day and I've just not been able to shake it, so I'm only doing a couple of replays today, but I'll be back tomorrow with something a bit more special for you. So I'm in the 112 Tier 8 Chinese Premium Heavy. It's got a 122mm gun, 4.5 rounds a minute, 175 pen, 390 damage, very inaccurate at .46, awful aiming time at 3.4, sorry. Quite nippy when it gets going at 45 km/h top speed, but with only a 580 horsepower engine it sometimes can take a bit getting up there. Traverse on the hull and the turret is both 26. 120mm of armour on the front, but the lower plate is quite weak, so you have to manage that quite well. 80 on the side of the hull, 60 on the rear. Turret very strong at the front, 240, 130 on the sides, 60 on the rear. And this is one of those games where you sort of, I don't know, you put yourself in a situation, or you get yourself into a situation that's not particularly ideal, and through a little bit of skill, some teamwork, a lot of luck, shit just seems to come together, and not only do you survive it, but you actually end up having quite a decent match out of it as well, and this is one of those. Now, one of my subscribers, Deadly Bubbles Gaming, had asked me to do a review on the Easy 8 and the Sherman Jumbo. Now, I have started that. In fact, the next replay is something to do with that. But when I started it, I knew that there'd be a little bit more involved, obviously, with the Tech Tree tanks, because you've got to, you know, take into account the upgrade packs, etc. And also doing two of them together, I don't want it to be too long, but I want it to basically cover everything. And that was lucky I didn't get ammo right there, and apologies for the camera. I was just trying to make sure I could take out that CDC. Anyway, yeah, as I was saying, so there's a bit more involved in it, so it required a bit more thought. So I have started it, and I will be doing that, and it'll be Friday, because I've got something planned for the next 4 days. You could probably guess what it is, and yeah, I'm called in a favour from Santa, and I should hopefully be able to bring you reviews of all 4 of the monster tanks that are coming on tomorrow. There's a KV-5, there's an OI Japanese Heavy, there's a T-71, and there's also a new Panther from the new World of Tanks comic book. And I gave that Centennial a little love nudge there, didn't I? Not really much, but this is what I mean. Things are just coming together. I've put myself in a couple of dodgy situations, to be honest. I mean, I let that Panther have my flank, but it just seems to be coming together. Either things are missing, bouncing, or, you know, other people are killing them just before they can take a shot. Artie just misses, which was very lucky. And, oh, trying to save the Tiger from the IS. Luckily, the IS missed the Tiger. I got a shot in, and somebody else took him out. So yes, the monster tanks, they do look quite nice, and you'll be able to earn either the Panther, the T-71, or the OI. You could earn that one, but the KV-5 you can only get by buying the Mega Bundle at the minute. But it's the standard KV-5 will be coming on sale at some point, I would imagine. Right, not doing too shabby for hits so far. Now I'm going to try and get round here, try and see if I can get hold of that artillery and give him a bit of a slap. But I've got to be careful on that flank, although I'm just using this slightly lower ground. I've not been spotted, and I was expecting artillery to be up this way somewhere. But if he's seen what's happened in the forest, he's possibly scarpered, or he may not have even been there in the first place. But I would imagine he's actually scarpered, because from where those shells were coming in, he was in this direction. Right, they're capping again. We've got a Comet up there, and you can see that awful aiming time. But that was lucky, actually. The gun seems to be behaving. Sometimes it just doesn't seem to. Now, that lower plate is a weakness, like I say, and I'm trying to keep moving, close the distance, and the closer I get, the further down they have to aim to actually hit the lower plate, and increases the angle, and hopefully they'll bounce off it, because that is the biggest weakness of this thing. So I'm going to angle across. It does have a strip of spaced armour down each side, but not as big as the IS-3s. Now, closed in, there's Artie. I'm not going to be able to get a shot at him, but hopefully our Artie will be able to take him out. And see if I can put him through the front of this turret. And I don't know what was happening with the camera there. I was on the sniper view, came back out, and I was looking at the ground. Right. Now this is where I have to be careful, because there's a T-28 prototype on the flank. I take a shot on the move, and I don't know if it missed or bounced. Artie's taken care of, so I'm going to swing in and see if I can put something into the side of that T-28 prototype. And that was lucky again, it wasn't fully aimed, but like I say, the gun seems to be behaving. But I take a nasty hit in return, and now I've got the front of him, although the side armour is very thin, and that one just went through the side, thankfully. I don't think I could have taken another hit like that. Now there's 2 tank destroyers left. 1 tank destroyer left, and I'm not entirely sure what it is actually. But everybody's mobbed him, and he's done before I can even get there. Like a T-28, I think it was. And not a bad little round. Come out of it with a high caliber, just over 4,000 damage done. Steel Wall Confederate sniper, a sniper in that tank, and first class mastery. So yeah, not too shabby at all. Quite happy with that round. Like I say, it was just one of those rounds where I just had enough. It was a bit down and dirty. Everything just seemed to go my way, and it all turned out all right in the end, which was really nice. It's not very often that you get rounds like that, really. 1700 base XP. Yeah, not too shabby. I'm happy with that. That was quite an interesting round, and it's certainly good fun to play it. And I was glad when I got out of that forest and could actually breathe for a minute before everything else happened again. But yeah, monster tanks, eh? Like I say, they're all coming on. I think the op starts on the 10th, and you can pick one to earn, but you can only earn one of them, so you've got to make your choice wisely. So, hence why I'm picking them up, and I'll be doing reviews on them so you can actually make a more educated decision over which ones you'd actually like to go for. Anyway, here's the second of the replays tonight, and it's Thiepval Ridge, Tier 4 match, and I'm in my Tier 3 Premium American Light Tank, the Locust, or the M22 Locust, here with its full name. Quite a fun little tank this, and I was in it because I was training the crew up for the Sherman Jumbo that I'd bought for the review. I was actually overtraining a spare crew I'd got lying around. But quite a nippy little thing, 64 kilometres an hour, 192 horsepower engine, it's very light, 40-degree traverse on the hull and the turret, 25 mil of armour on the front, 13 on the side and rear, and 25 all round the turret. Not a bad little 37 mil on it, 56 mil of pen and 40 damage with a 26 rounds a minute, well 26.2. 0.41 accuracy, so not the best. 1.71 second aiming time, but it's just a fun little tank. And in Tier 3 matches you can actually bounce quite a few shots off the front of this. I was really surprised about that when I first got it and started bouncing shots off the front. It was quite pleasant. But in Tier 4 match you've got to be a bit more wary. But like I say, I was just training up a crew, overtraining them to put them straight in the Sherman Jumbo at 100%, so I could start getting some footage of it with a fully trained crew. And I had this match, and it was just good fun, and there were a couple of funny moments in it, and I had a good laugh doing it, so I thought I'd save it and share it. So I'm just sitting at this choke point. I am very aware that I'm on my own with my arse hanging in the breeze, so I don't want to be too aggressive and get surrounded by half a dozen enemy tanks. You know, it might be nifty, you might be able to bounce the odd shot off the front, but it's no mouse. So I notice I've got one other tank just over on my right flank. Oh, and there's an M3 late, and that's not going to bounce off the front. So I'm going to cut down this way and keep my fingers crossed I don't run into any more, and see if I can get round behind him. Oh, there's a Panzer 38T over there. Just keep an eye on him. And the M3 Lee is chasing me. He's trying to catch a Locust in M3 Lee. Well, I'll give him the fact that he's an optimist. Oh, took a hit from that Panzer 38 there though in the side. Can't take too many of those. Now hopefully I'll have come back round on the M3 Lee. Yeah, he's decided to stop and turn around. He's caught on that I'm way too fast to chase around in circles. So I think I'll do a bit of cheeky auto lock and I'll go around him in circles instead. And as he tries to flick back the other way, put it into reverse and just start going round him again. And that is the big downfall of the M3 Lee. The lack of a turret, or the lack of a turning turret should I say. And the last one just finishes him off. Now I think the Panzer 38T is also dead, but I come round just to make sure that there's nothing else there and that he's been taken care of, and yeah, indeed he has. And it's at that point that I looked up and realised that yeah, most of the enemy team have actually met their demise. So I don't quite know what's happening, but I best get a move on if I actually want to get some decent XP out of this match. So I'm going to sort of blaze across this way towards the base. Another little panzer pops up, so I'm going to get a bit closer. And again, I'm going to be cheeky and a dirty scrub and just use auto aim and just blaze it towards him, because that's more fun. And I managed to finish him off just before I hit him and damage myself. And there's not many tanks left. There's only 4 on the enemy team. We've got a medium, 2 lights, and a tank destroyer. So where's the tank destroyer going to be? Oh, there we go, up on the hill. I must admit that's where I'd be. And that's where you've got to try and guess what they're doing, really. I mean, again, it sounds so simple and so obvious, but sometimes you just cannot guess where people are going to be. But usually there's a degree of common sense involved in the decision making. Tank destroyers are generally going to be higher up where they can get a good vantage of the battlefield. And a little circle of death on the Hetzer. Very bouncy from the front, not so much from the sides and the rear though. And pop down off the hill, we've got 2 left. There's a Panzer 2J and I think it's an M5 or an M3 Stuart. It's the tier 4 one anyway, I can't remember which one that is off the top of my head. So let's go hunting. I know one of them has been spotted near the trenches. Oh, and there's the other one. So, and he's not facing me, so I'm going to sneak up behind him and just be really cheeky and just sit there shooting him up his backside. And then he notices me, but he's done for. He's got half the team surrounding him. And now it's just the Panzer 2J. And notice I'll switch to the premium ammunition because those things are very well armoured. And there he is. And even with premium it's still only 50-50 through the side. But as it happens there was no need to do that anyway. And they finished him off. So there you go, good little fun round training up a crew for the Sherman Jumbo for the review. Anyway, I'm going to go now and I'm going to relax and I'm going to take some more paracetamol and try and get rid of this headache. And I'll be back tomorrow with a review of one of those lovely monster tanks. I don't know which one I'm going to do first, but it's going to be a 4-parter over the next sort of 4 days, each one focusing on a different one. So I mean, if there's any preference to which you'd like to see first, then let me know in the comments and I'll bring you that one first. I was thinking possibly the Panther from the comic book, but if anyone wants to see like the OI or the KV5 or the T71 first, let me know in the comments. Anyway, as always, I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen, and if you have, don't forget to leave a like or even subscribe if you haven't already, because it really helps the channel out. And yeah, take care out there and I'll catch you next time. See you later.